Well, glad you could join me. What is my project today? Do you remember this place here? I just removed some wallpaper on the walls over here, and I've skimmed them all out. There's my uncle again. Hi, Uncle Eddie.
Hi.
Now, today's project, you know, after they saw this, and they're gonna have this, all these walls spray textured and painted and all that, before they decided to finish that, look at this. Here's their kitchen ceiling area. It's got a little T-bar ceiling, and this was considered, believe it or not, an upgrade years ago in a kitchen. You put a drop ceiling like this, and then you put fluorescent light fixtures in here. Now see, you know, years ago that might have been the thing to do, but nowadays they don't like these in kitchens anymore. So what our project is, I'm gonna pull this down and we're gonna have to patch the ceiling up there, see what's up there. We're gonna disconnect all the fluorescent light fixtures and all of that stuff. The ceiling's gonna be painted. I'm gonna have to patch the ceiling. They're gonna have to put crown molding and figure out something to do around these cabinet tops. You'll see, you know. So stick around. If you have a drop ceiling, you're always wondering how to remove that and what it entails to do that, you're in luck. Now the first thing that has to be done, obviously all of these panels have to be removed, and they fit into a T-bar grid system. That's what these rails are. This is part of the T-bar grid. Just lift these up. You're going to want to kind of slide it out of position so you can then pull it down. Okay? These are flexible little panels. We're just going to throw these away now. They've done their service for the last, oh, I don't know, 30 years, 25, 30 years. And, you know, after time, these panels get faded, they get dirty, and the ceiling's just going to be nice and bright once we get all this stuff down. There's a fluorescent light fixture, and what do we have here? Here's an old exhaust fan in the kitchen. It's not working anymore. It looks like it's been leaked. The water's leaked around it a little bit. An old water leak. We're gonna have to disconnect that, cap that off, put sheetrock up there. Man, this job just keeps increasing by the minute. Hey, don't laugh too much. Okay, so easy enough. We only have, you know, 12 panels to remove here. Okay, I'm gonna keep pulling those down. Let's just keep her going here. Get the next one down. Now when you're working into a kitchen and stuff, I didn't bring a ladder. This is my step ladder, and I like the ones with the big fat stair treads and the little handle here, and it makes it nice and easy when you're doing something such as this. That way you don't have a bulky ladder in your way and all that. Okay? Just take it, slide it out, swivel it, and down it comes. See, it's all dirty down here. You want to maintain a ceiling like this, you'd have to take all these lens covers down and clean them, and they've discolored and yellowed over years of use. Another reason why we're taking this down. We just want to freshen up the kitchen. Okay. You may be wondering, how are we going to take the T-bar grid down? Well, first things first. Let's just take all the panels out first, and then we'll figure out the next step. Okay, well, I got all the ceiling panels out, the diffused panels, and here's one of the reasons why the light was kind of dim in here. Do you see that? Here's a fluorescent light fixture. These are 4-foot fluorescent tube light fixtures. One of the bulbs has either burned out or the light ballast needs to be replaced. Now if you ever come across this, if you got some fluorescent light fixtures like this in your garage or something like that, let's say one of your tubes or both of them are flashing. Well, one of them could still be good, and the other one might be the one to be needing to be replaced. You replace one, and let's say it doesn't work. You replace the other one, it still doesn't work. You're thinking, what the heck is going on? Well, it might be the electronic ballast inside the light fixture, and probably they're not electronic ones. In the old days, they were a different one. You replace that with an electronic style ballast. They're a little bit lighter, a little bit easier, they last longer, and then your tubes might start working. Another thing, if you look at these light tubes, we've got this one light tube to the right, which isn't as dark. See how the one to the left is discolored at the end, about the last couple inches? Well, usually that's the one. That's a telltale sign of the one that's probably burned out or getting ready to be burned out. And here's another tip for you. If you replace one light, fluorescent light tube, sometimes it's best to just replace both of them, because after a while it could have a tendency to burn out the existing light tube that's still working. Okay, there's just a little quick dirty on fluorescent light tubes. Here's a 4-footer that's still working. Here's one at the end, it's not working. Those are burned out. And then they even did something nice over the kitchen sink. They've got a small one here, and but it's not working. All right, but even if these were working, we wanted to get rid of all this stuff, so we're going to have to remove that. We've got see this electrical box. You got flexible conduit coming out of there. They just use that as a junction box, and they ran the flexible wiring, cabling over to each light fixture, because they didn't really care about that. It was above the ceiling, and you didn't see that through the diffused panels. Okay, so we're gonna have a little electrical to do here too. Man, we've got all kinds of things going on, and you didn't see that through the diffused panels. Okay, so we're gonna have a little electrical to do here too. Man, we've got all kinds of things going on. And see, at the end of this cabinet, see how they got this nice trim piece? That trim piece right there was to hold the T-bar grid system. Had to do something for the rest of the ceiling in the kitchen, because see, here's the rest of the ceiling in the kitchen. And so when we remove the T-bar grid system, we're going to have to remove this last piece of trim for the cabinets, because that's just not going to look right if we leave that. And see, it's a separate piece that goes over the top of the cabinets. We're going to have to take that top molding off, and then that long 1x6 piece of nice oak there. We're not going to use that, but we might save that, in case you ever need that for anything. It's already nicely stained. Maybe they want to do something different. Now, you also see that at the ceiling, see how the cabinets go up? They don't go all the way up to the ceiling, do they? And they didn't really need to at the time, because when they did this kitchen, they knew they were going to install a drop ceiling like this, but they probably should have. They could have ran it all the way up. They're looking for future needs. What if the T-bar grid system got removed? How are they going to trim off that ceiling? Now see, we've got a little issue with that, don't we? We've got this cabinet here. It doesn't go all the way up to the ceiling. This one doesn't go up to the ceiling. In fact, none of these go up to the ceiling, do they? Hey, look over here. This one doesn't go up to the sheetrock ceiling either. And the reason why that's important to bring up is because once we remove this T-bar ceiling, the sheetrock ceiling is going to be the finished ceiling. So we're going to have to do something at the top of that. We were talking a little while ago what to do there. Probably going to have to put, what do you think we'd have to do? What would you do on this certain situation? Yes, we're probably going to install a crown molding and run that from the top of the cabinet, about 1.5 inches down or 1 inch down, and then going up at a 45 on up to the ceiling. And that's going to finish that all off. Man, there's going to be lots of nice little cuts here and all that. If else is probably going to do that, but I'm going to see if I can bring the video camera over here so you can see how to install crown molding. Now if they decide to install that 45-degree crown molding, there's going to be an issue right here where this cabinet is, because see here, there's an existing sheetrock ceiling or sheetrock wall that just dies right there, just beyond the cabinets. I'm kind of curious how he's going to stop the crown molding right there. Now another thing that could be done is maybe put a piece of trim that goes straight up to the ceiling. If they put one going straight up to the ceiling, then it would tie in and die in, just like about where that 1x6 is there. And you know, once they do that, then the question is, okay, what's that going to be made of? Is that going to be painted same color as the ceiling, or what? Because if they install crown molding that's oak, you would have to stain it, seal it, and finish it the exact same color as these cabinets. That's going to be kind of difficult to do. Okay, so lots of different things having to go on in this kitchen, and you stick around, watch these videos, this whole video series, to see what's going to happen in this little kitchen and see if this might help you out with your project. If you want to check out the rest of this little ceiling repair and electrical lighting and all that, stick around. Keep checking my channel because I'll be uploading those soon.